Finance for Hippies is recorded at the Goethe Institute in Johannesburg, South Africa. They enable arts and cultural organizations to be more entrepreneurial so they can create a better society.
The Goethe Institute does this through a global network of hubs where local creatives act as a driving force of economy and culture.
Hit him swag. 2015, cool kid, I met Ndarkie. Ndarkie told me, Teethswag, I saved him, man. No ways, dude. I told him, odd over money, odd over money. I told him, dude, odd over money. 3 years passed and my palm's still not easy. Bank account still small like MT's PP. Streets need me, Ndarkie. Can you feel me? That's why we dropped Finance for Hippies.
Teethswag and Ndarkie. Who needs a budget? Dude, really? Finance for who? Sounds silly. As I think about it, my credit cards are through the ceiling. You don't need a loan. I'll pay you back. Sasa's kicking in on the 15th for sure. Welcome to another episode of Ndarkie and Teethswag, Finance for Hippies. You know what it is. We hit you with episode 1. Kudo was here. And you know how we do in our shows. We're always drinking. First episode was fine. French hook wines from Woolies. We were hitting reds. We were hitting pinks. We were hitting whites. Second show, we're hitting with what? Non-alcoholic drinks. The finest coffee you have. It's too early in the morning to be drinking, people, so we're going to keep it straight.
Talk to them, Doc.
I got in front of me 70% Rwanda, 30% Ethiopian beans, lightly roasted from our local cafe, The Motherland. This show is sponsored by The Motherland. Well, not really, but hopefully they're listening and they'll drop us 100K or so. Flavors of chocolate with floral citrus notes. That's what we're having today. Some donuts from Crispy. You know we crispy fresh. That's what we're having today, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we do. And your guest, or rather your host first, is the legend of Ndarkie, A.K.A F1, Kayalami, Don Salamanca, and my friend over here,
Teethswag. Shout out.
Get the dentist.
The
Go for it.
dentist, Teethswag, a.k.a. Get the bag, a.k.a. your girl is in trouble, a.k.a. let's get this money, a.k.a. odd over money.
Odd over money.
That's what's up. That's what's happening today. Thanks for the very long introduction where you...
It was too long.
Yeah, actually, it was a bit too long. But yeah, you also messed up the guest and introduction. But anyway,
we're going to mess up a whole thing.
We'll figure that out. So yeah, man. So my job right now is to introduce the guest. Government name Sibonakaliso A.K.A. That's his government name. Sibonakaliso A.K.A. His name is Gyre.
Hello.
What's up, Gyre?
I'm good.
Gyre, can I just read your rap sheet here? It's quite... Gyre is like, welcome
impressive.
to the show.
It's
got
impressive.
an impressive rap sheet. You know what I'm saying? He's a rapper, he's an artist. He just dropped, recently dropped the album called Queernomics. I don't know how recent, but it's, you know, he's the man behind Queernomics. 10and5.com named him one of the artists to stand for 2018. Mr. Sibonakaliso A.K.A.
That's why he changed his name.
Listen to this one. This man brought a fire truck to his matric down.
How do you know that?
Here is Gyre.
Yeah, Simwa, you need an entrance. Listen, you don't just rock up. People must know it's you now. So it was a necessary thing, guys. Young Jaja in.
My question is, how did you convince the fire department to release a truck to you?
So that's what actually happened. I had a friend who, no one else liked Shame, and no one wanted to go with him. And he was a training paramedic, right? Oh. And I don't want to go everything else seems so basic, limousine boo, Hummer boo. And then there he was with the opportunity with the fire truck, and I was like, let's do this. Do you know when I got there? What can I swear?
You can swear.
Oh, fucking shit, fuck yes.
We're going to edit it out. What you can say. I'm joking.
Then, as the fire truck comes, all the limos literally split. They split aside and we go in because everyone thinks there's a fire happening. And as I get in, we get there, we go there, everyone is now panicking. The whole boarding house runs to the front thinking there's a fire. And then, ta-da, c'est moi. And they're all screaming. And I was like, yes, bitches, it's me, it's she. Stand me. So trust me, that was nothing compared to my future Grammy Awards entrance. Trust me.
Gyre,
So-
this is a show about financial management, and you're telling us that you booked a fire truck.
I was free, guys. It
I'm
was free.
con-
So actually, shout out to that. Hustle it, guys. You can hustle anything in this world.
No, that's true. That's true.
I just need us to do this. Isn't there some show structure thing where I think
your list,
do you realize that we have not even introduced the topic of the show yet?
No, for sure. The
Could
topic
we-
always crimson. You know, finance and hippies, we always do about money and art. Surprisingly, he said art over money, yet we're still talking about how we're going to make money out of art. So the topic of the show today, we're looking at, the name is my business, is my passion a business? Is my passion a business?
Yeah.
So we're looking at the issue that, first of all, I think you guys have heard this from episode 1 where I'm from, my background. So I'm totally not an artist. I have no art bone in my body, I think.
Ndarkie, be kind to yourself.
No, it's the truth. So I'm working towards, switching to that side. I don't know if it's the left or the right side of my brain. I'm in the corporate 9 to 5. Naturally, treasurer. I'm all about numbers.
I mean, can I just ask, as a corporate person, how do you guys do it? Like, how do you just wake up and gear your mind to like do like umsebenzi, bro? Like that's it. Awutabangi, like when you're for your life, you're gonna do this job. It's just a job. Like how do you function, you corporates?
Do you know? I started a recent job this past month in August. Right, it's a big company. They took me around, introduced me to a few people. Well, people who've been working there. So the guys I meet this old guy. He's been working there for 35 years. Whoa. 35 years. He is, I think the manager described him as the deepest well of knowledge in the company. Everything they need to ask him. No. What happened in 95 when there was some theft in the storeroom warehouse? He'll break it down for you. Oh, no, there was a disciplinary hearing for those kids. So it's something you have to dedicate. You have to accept it as your life. And surprisingly, I meet people, artists like that. You guys are in a different lane altogether. You will never definitely accept working 9 to 5 for 35 years. Would you?
I could never. I've had 2 jobs. I've been fired in less than a week for both.
Can I? Interestingly enough, then same way you asked him. How do you do it? How, like, if you look at the Gyre journey, give us some context. How have you just done it then?
Dude, like, it just comes naturally to you. I think artistry and like thingy, like it just, you're born with it. Like I used to have AMA concerts in my bedroom when I was 7. Ever since then. So it just comes naturally. Like at some point, like you obviously get discouraged because unlike the corporate world, dude, in the corporate world, like there's a bit more structure, there's a bit more certainty. You know what I mean? But like, man, I've gone to the point where I just wake up and like, okay, dude, just go live your dream, because literally that's all I'm doing. I wake up and I think, okay, when I was younger and I imagined that I was an artist, I'd wake up and I'd do this. So what are you going to wake up and do today? Oh, so I'm going to wake up, I'm going to send email to radio stations, because that's what an artist would do. So I'm literally living in a fantasy world, but just now it's just it's coming all together, So it's I think it's instinctive. It's instinctive. It's in your bones. You can't fight it. You just can't fight every urge. Like I remember, even in the jobs that I had, for the little bit I had, I was writing midway through it. Go my exam, Jay. I remember I had this exam and I was just fucking out, and I was like, I don't know shit. So I just took the back of the exam and I started writing a song. And then at the end of the exam, they're like, we need the question paper. I'm like, okay, hold up. And I'd written about 2 pages of the whole exam, and in law, because I used to do law. law. Like, you need to write books, essentially. And they were like, okay, please hand it. I'm like, I'm sorry, you have to give me another sheet because I need to write my song. I'm not losing the song. So then they stopped and they waited for me when everyone had collected the stuff when I rewrote the song, because I'm like, I'm not leaving this.
Seriously?
This is all I have out of this whole experience.
So the passion has always been there.
It's always been there. You can't fight it.
You're completely embarrassing that pathetic work ethic.
No, I'm all about the...
You are completely just... This is...
I respect the exams, man.
As legendary as Ndarkie is, could possibly be the laziest rapper in rap. I know. Ndarkie has officially got 8 bars in 2018. He's written 8 bars in 2018.
But my flow, I need to work on my flow, man. I need to work
shout
on
out,
that
you
flow.
have something.
What do you think, getting to that kind of point, right? When you get to the point where you can make music and you can rap, how do you turn that passion into a business? How do you package that into a business? So what's been your journey in that, into trying to turn it into
a business? It's mentality. I think it's mentality. Mentality makes the difference. You know, if you want to be professional, you gotta treat yourself like a professional. You're not professional the moment you make a 10K gig. You're professional the moment you get your first free gig. You're a professional musician. You know, so I think mentality makes a difference, because then you see how a business should be run. You see, like, you make the distinction part with the fact you could see, like, okay, but right now maybe I have to make the sacrifice. I can't be rapping all the time. I need to go figure out how to get this shit done. You know what I mean? And it's a constant evolution. Like, I believe I'm still working on it. Like, you and I have honest conversations, particularly, for instance, about my social media. You know, it's something that I'm still working hard at, because shit, man, that thing is difficult, because I'm not a social media person. Like, people think I love attention, but like, no, Gyre likes attention, Smo doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's different from Sibonakaliso, bruh. And so it's hard to make that distinction, not to make the distinction, but to follow through on that distinction once you've also made it in your head.
When did you realize that? Because I think what I've met when I came into the art world,
look at you, Ndarkie, owning the art world.
When I made it,
I saw that. I am now the Don. One thing I found about artists is that they were uncompromising, especially on the art side. Even with Teeth here, his slogan is art over money. That means the quality of our art cannot be compromised due to financial goals. But at some point, you guys have to live.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You have to pay rent. You have to, stay fresh. You have to eat, all those things. When is that transition? Because it seems like I've met a few. It seems like you've started to really look into the financial viability of all your projects that you go into.
Yeah.
When was that transition? Was it before you recorded the album? How did you move really from effectively turning your passion into a business?
Basically, how did you move from being a mixtape rapper like Ndarkie, an unprofitable entity, product that no one can invest in?
The transition, when I made that, made the realization, I think it's ongoing. It's ongoing. It comes in bits and pieces. It comes with that first moment where, like, you see that actually, or someone says to you, dude, what are you charging? I remember once I told someone what I'm willing to charge people. It's like, you should be charging a huge amount compared to that, because you get the crowd going. You do your job, and niggas don't do their job out there. They just perform, and the point is not to perform, the point is to entertain. People forget they're entertainers. You know what I mean? So it comes in bits and pieces, but I think for me, it came the more the potential to...
We'll reschedule part two, please. Okay, for sure.
And I actually won't be on a detox, so we'll do this right.
Okay.
Cheers, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yo, what's up? It's C-Funk here. Mr. I'm shining prime timing. Every time I speak, I sound like I'm rhyming. Listen, I'm the engineer for this podcast, Finance for Hippies. I'm also an R&B singer by night, like a superhero. Anyway, what had happened here in this episode is that we had to cut it short. Gyre had to go somewhere. It's our fault, specifically Teethswag and Ndarkie, because them niggas, they always take too long to set up. So Gyre's management came through and said he had to go. But however, we have part 2 coming up for you next. next. We will never leave you hanging, because that we're not those type of people. Just a side note, because these guys advertising space is too cheap. I sing R&B. Catch me on Instagram, Funknificent. Catch me on the Facebook at C-Funk. You know that I got a page out there. Check out my music on iTunes. I got a song named Comments. I got an EP coming out. You know, we shining. Whoop, 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 whoop. Anyway, yo, this is part 2 of episode 2. Please enjoy.
The best run in hip hop, I would say, to all you listeners out there, the best run ever in hip hop. I'll have to agree with Joe Budden. Joe Budden mentioned it. The greatest run in hip hop was the 50 Cent G-Unit run.
Oh, I was
That
in
was
grade 2
the-
and I felt that.
That was the hottest
It's a good one.
run ever. He came off the bat with Get Rich, Die Trying. He featured. Eh?
No, I love this. I want to hear about this.
I think
School Ass.
he
School Ass.
featured that album was hot, man. He featured Eminem.
Really?
There was
Hold up, can I just ask quickly?
yeah.
Kamikaze, where do you rate it?
Kamikaze. I haven't given Kamikaze a full proper listen.
You need to give it a listen, guys.
I give it a solid 7.
A 7.
Solid 7.
Obviously, we know I hate him because of his fucking homophobia.
Who?
Yeah, Eminem.
Do you think that's
blatant.
Actually,
I think there was a bit of homophobia in this.
Not even
Kamikaze.
bad, he's just homophobic. He's always homophobic. He's an asshole tech face.
You should have heard him in the 90s if you think he's bad.
Yeah,
now.
I know. He lost to the white gays. I watched this thing on MTV where he was fighting the white gays, and obviously the white gays lost. And I was like,
Yeah.
what, guys? How did you just bow to this guy? Because apparently, like, it all ended off with like them hugging him on stage on the MTV Awards. I'm like, I should have cancelled him then.
Yeah.
Anyway, point is because of his rap skill. We're speaking about rapping. Nah, listen, that nigga can
the
rap.
rap skill is hard, yeah.
it's not
His
even-
rap skill is hard, but his homophobia, I've always thought. I had somebody who gave me like a crazy, like, I actually thinks he's just in the closet about it.
Yeah.
Hey, take it easy on those herbs.
Please.
I must say that Gyre
please.
is smoking on some herbs. You can
Oh
say that
my
now
gosh.
because it is now illegal.
I'm recording.
Part 2. Okay, I said it. It's part 2. It's part 2. It's Gyre. Okay.
Gyre show.
Finance for hippies.
Sure.
Part 2.
Teethswag and Ndarkie, bringing you part 2 with our guest Gyre.
You know, shout out Gyre, shout out. Yeah, let's get this interview.
All sorts of shout outs.
Yo.
For sure.
It's my business of passion.
We'd like
Let's
to
go. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'd like to thank our guest for coming through for part 2 of our episode. Is my passion of business.
Yeah.
Last time he came through, we had to cut the show short because of scheduling conflicts. That's what they call it. In the
Yes.
business. Yeah. Scheduling conflicts. One mentioned how we spent too much time setting up and stuff. It was officially on the books.
Yeah.
A scheduling conflict. This is the point where yeah, put that on the fun. Welcome back, Gyre. How are you doing?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling so good. We just had some KFC, guys, by the way. And
Sure.
you're missing out.
We did not have
'Cause-
any KFC.
Oh, you can't say. Oh,
Well done, Gyre. You just slid in an ad for us.
Oh,
I would
yes,
like
yes.
to thank this episode is sponsored by KFC. Good old Streetwise 2.
We're balling big now.
We are balling.
You're getting big brands.
It's finger licking good. So,
Wait, isn't that? Oh no, that is KFC.
yeah, that's the ad. Drinks wise, during the episode you'll hear some ice cubes klingling in the cups there. We are keeping it local and lekker. Some premium because you know our show is old.
No, we are not drinking that. Because the last show we did at least, no. Please can we focus on our guest?
It's part 2, right?
Can we focus on our guest? We are not drinking that because last show we drank that. Like we finance for hippies. Now we're giving so much free advertising.
Season 2, we're
Season
charging,
2.
we're hitting you guys with
We'll
hectic
be sending
invoices.
invoices.
We play. We can't tell people to make money, and we're not making money on the
Everything.
show. So you know what it is. Welcome to the show, Gyre. Teeth.
What's up?
Yeah, Gyre. Great to have you back. I'm trying to get my mind on what we wanted to say to you, but great to have you back, man.
It's nice to be back.
Great to have you back, man. And hopefully we're gonna wrap this interview up and delve deeper into the topic.
No, this is going to be the super episode. Can you just give us a little intro of Gyre? How did you guys meet, first of all? That's quite interesting for me because Teeth always brings me the hottest guests, artists, like proper artists. Even the previous guest was a high caliber artist. How did you guys meet? Did you guys meet in this art world that is so mystical and exciting for us mortals? Where did you guys meet?
You're gonna send us tea.
G's sister is married.
Shout out to
one
G.
of my closest friends. Gyra's sister's married, one of my closest friends. So, and then she told me that her brother's is an artist, is a musician. So then she went out here, brother. Everyone's got a sub artist. And when people taste you, it's like, he's a musician, cool.
I want to know in that moment. How did she play for you guys, or did she send you links, or what did she do?
Your sister, like she just. No, she hyped you up proper. She hyped you up proper.
I love her so much.
She made you like legit.
Are you guys close?
Yo, my sisters and I. All my sisters
it's
and I.
actually no. They creep. It's like this close. Then there's how this guy and his sister.
No, we're super close.
I don't like it when you use the word creep.
Because your Instagram is creepy. Ndarkie's Instagram looks like a stalker's Instagram.
Don't go on to my Instagram first.
Well, you probably have updated
You
it
should
by
go
the
on
time
his
this
Instagram.
episode
I want to
comes
go
out.
to Instagram.
But yeah, his sister told me about him, and I just started following his stuff and seeing what he's doing, and actually seeing that he's really about this thing. Because many people talk about being about the stuff, but really doing it is really doing it. And I saw like,
no, that's Gyre. Gyre is
Shout out,
doing it.
guys.
I'm talking album out, Google Play,
Yeah.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Gyre, a question. As a professional rapper, when do you take someone seriously saying they're a rapper?
That's actually a very good question. But for me, it would be like how they conduct themselves. Like a professional rapper behaves like a professional rapper. Professionalism is what's key. You know what I mean? And if we say guys,
I actually think it's got like this.
The Barry White.
White thing. We want the Barry White thing. We don't want the Gyre they all used to. We would like this Barry White one. Yeah, please.
it's because I was screaming last night, and Lilo said, "Shout out to Lilo! Shout out to the queers party, by the way, and all the queers out there were doing the most to push the culture in Johannesburg."
For sure.
But yeah, so yeah, you see how they conduct themselves. You see, in terms of just like rapping, dog. If you don't have a song like which you can show me, if you also don't have your music on you, like, why don't you have your music on you? Like, if I want to know where are you, okay, if have it on your phone at least, you know what I mean. Even if it's that one song, it means you're legit. Cause I got legitimized with one song. You know what I mean? Like, it's just do it. A lot of people are afraid to do it. A lot of people come to me and be like, I want to be a rapper. Okay, kids, I want to be a rapper. I'm like, okay, do it, girl. Do it. You gotta do it. You just do it. You know what I mean?
True. You can't be a rapper hypothetically or
Hip hop, I used to say, and it sounds so cheesy, but it's true. It changed my life, and the way I conducted myself as a human being as well gave purpose and honor to my life, I think.
Quick question. Which era of hip hop are you?
All your questions
Are very quick.
Just ask
and they end up being too long.
Lightning.
Which era are you? I know, for me, I am the aftermath era.
Okay.
Dude.
Can I tell you the weirdest thing about me? Not even weird, I've come to accept it. My hip hop history is like, I pick and choose what I want.
Most
pick and choose
people
what I
do,
want.
so it seems.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people I find pick and choose what they want because, like I said, I I didn't to answer because I know you're gonna ask which area I'm in, and I feel like I think 2014, 2015, honestly, because that's when I started listening to hip hop.
Who was running 2014, 15?
Hey, but who was it even? KO. KO influenced me a shitload.
Internationally?
Internationally, ASAP. Allah was out. Allah was out. J Cole. Sing it. ASAP with Allah. And there was J Cole with 2014 Forest Hill Drive. Kendrick, I think, had just released. I didn't understand him back then, because I didn't get him. So yeah, like I've had a very different journey in my hip hop journey.
But there's been many areas, man. But I also think, maybe related to what he was asking you, who made you? When you must have gotten to a point where you're like, okay, I can do this and I can live off this. Was it someone you saw, or how did you get to that point to actually think that I can live off this and actually turn what I'm doing into business, something profitable? Maybe just take us a bit through that journey.
I think when I was deciding particularly to leave school, I watched a lot of videos. A lot of them were like Beyonce and Jay, you know what I mean? Just speaking about belief and the fact that if you know your purpose. So it gotten so bad in varsity that like I could have back problems and like I couldn't walk. My sister Zia had to drop me off at the hospital. And then the doctor sees me and is like, dude, I read like everything that's down here and like, what the fuck? Like, this is what a 50-year-old's body is going through. What's going on with you? And he's like, and I told him, let's do it. I'm stressed. I don't know whether to do the music or to do the law. And he's like, make a decision. And I made the decision. And, at that point, like, I needed to believe. I knew that I needed to believe in myself because there's only myself in this world. Like, I had a friend who passed year. Her name was Rafila. She's actually my one ex-girlfriend, imagine. But yeah, she passed, and when that happened, it changed my perspective on life, I knew then that there's only one certainty in life, and that's death. Success and failure is down to your endeavor.
That's a hell of a message to all you people out there. Folks, success is down to endeavor. Is that what you said? Man, I'm going to turn that into a line.
That is stealing quotes from you, stealing bars from you, stealing bars.
But tell me something about, obviously that progressed. You made your decision to be a rapper. You became professional. And then you, when we had a quick chat earlier, you mentioned that you might have had a mixtape out there at one point.
Isn't like the other one?
The other one.
Oh yeah, so like when I was like coming up with Queernomics and everything, there was another one, I can't remember what it was even called, that I thought, okay, let me do this one and do that. I don't know which conceptual piece to go with, but Queernomics was just, it was there. Like I needed to define myself. You know what I mean? I needed to see like, this is who you are, baby. You know what I mean? And yeah, so yeah, I mean, there's some tracks there that like could still work if I rework them, because I always look back. Now I've learned to be able to look back and see some gems in other places. But like, yeah, like, I lost track of mine. What did I say?
The golden tracks you have that you might rework.
Oh shit, yeah. So like, yeah, pointers, process.
People are messing around.
Yeah.
You know, I lost my train. Guys, I hope you got what I was trying to say.
Our engineers have an off night.
I have a
tonight.
plan for that. Don't worry. Mr. John.
He's having an off night tonight.
Do you want to do? So you have a few golden tracks that you think you might rework?
That's where you
Yeah. Okay. Like, yeah, there are quite a few that like I really want to rework, and like I'm trying to get more involved in studio as well. You know what I mean? Like with the exceptions of a few songs, in Queernomics, which is Eat My Ass, Slay and Sleep, and G to G. That's where myself and Jared like worked collaboratively in making the music. You know what I mean? Other than that, it was him and it was his production. It was Flu. It was Altoons. You know, completely. Technically, it is. I just give contributions because I can't physically do it. But I'm tapping my feet. They're saying it's naughty, guys. But yeah, I want to like be more present in the studio and starting it from scratch. So like there could be some very experimental stuff about to come out.
Teeth, what did you think of the track "Eat My Ass"?
I'm a Gyre fan, so, and the artist in me loves everything that challenges anything. So
You must have received some feedback on that track.
Yeah, no, I did, and I got some. I could tell you about live feedback. I can tell you like at shows, people At first, I thought, because at first I was cognizant of it, but then I've learned to just become so one into my space that I they're like that I like zone out now. Like I don't see the crowd, but I see the crowd. I feel the crowd.
Gee,
you know what I mean?
But I think you're a black guy, right?
Yes,
like,
I am black.
no, like straight up, like Bunama, there's African cultures. There's, but you're also a creative and who's making like moves. He has to treat himself like a business. You also koko, unamadlozi at some component. I know you come from a very Christian family, so I don't want your family get that twisted. I'm just saying, but your culture has these kind of things, and then you put out a song like "Eat My Ass." You get what I'm saying?
The question is, what does your uncle think of "Eat My Ass"?
Yeah, the question is what? No, Ndarkie will not do 3 questions in one here. So explain that to somebody also like Ndarkie, who is becoming Ndarkie, but now is worried about his uncle.
My uncle.
What's your process?
My uncle.
He's worried about his uncle finding out that he's Ndarkie.
I think I don't know what they think. I don't even know if they follow me. I think I'm a last born in my family, so like they never take anything I do seriously.
So family meetings, you don't stand up and say, I thought maybe we can put money together.
No, I always make suggestions. Like I've always been like outspoken. My sisters and I have always just been outspoken people. Like we speak up, but they just don't take me seriously. So like they'll watch me do something. Like I'll be planning essays, and they'll be like, okay, what's that about? I'm like, Mom, I'm working. Like, oh, Kanji, oh, okay. But now she's more supportive. Now she's more like in tune, I guess. But I just think like there's obviously guys a stigma. Let's also not forget I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper. Gay aside, I'm a rapper. And there's a stigma attached to that. It's like shit. Because it's not something that's like like what the fuck. He left school to rap. That's
and
what
then you're a rapper, and then you queer rapper,
yeah.
And then you're also you're also not even conventional in how you're doing your artistry.
Yeah.
And again, and you also then have to figure out how to be making a living through all that. It's I understand how challenging that process is, but I also there's a respect for that for being so engaged with your artistry that you understand that what you need to put out, you need to put out. At the end of the day, if you're as a creative and you're an artist and you're feeling "Eat My Ass," that's what you got to do. You owe that more to your artistry. You owe that more to putting out these music, these emotions, these ideas, more than worrying about
what your uncle's going to say.
Yeah, like
what Ugogo's going to say, because what you're involved in it's a responsibility.
Yeah, it is. It's
It's
a
a hell of
duty.
a responsibility.
It's
Hectic, man.
It is. I'm getting in my Larry King mood.
For sure. Now,
shout out.
the topic of the show today is my passion is business. And Teeth, as he has eloquently described, that it's a responsibility to really follow your passion and your artistry. But let's talk about the business side of things. You are a real artist. Gyre has a manager, which we had the pleasure of meeting in part 1 of this episode. I don't know if I should say a pleasure or not, but we met you have formed yourself as a business around your art. Tell me a bit about that. How do you monetize that as an independent rapper?
Strategy defeats it all. I've learned over time. Excuse me, I'm having a bit of a moment. Yeah, strategy beats everything. The moment you can plan ahead, I've learned that over time. That's the crashing and burning I was talking about earlier, about how you do this entrepreneur thing and whatever,
George.
but yeah, you need to put a strategy. You
A
put a
business
strategy
plan.
because next time I'm going to, okay, last time this is what I did. Next time I'm going to amplify it this way. I think personally, business in itself has been my greatest challenge, because I was never a business-minded person. I was just an artist. I was just an artist who was doing law, so I was stuck within the realm. I didn't know how I'd want to exist as a thing. I didn't think of art and this as entrepreneurship. Imagine. And I even tweeted it recently that I think the day that South Africa recognizes musicians are entrepreneurs is when you might just be able to get a boom in the industry. Because I think a lot of people don't take it as entrepreneurship. It's I'm trying something, I'm starting a business. Because yes, we know that we are businesses, you know what I mean? But it wasn't common knowledge before, you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, the game is changing, and strategy helps it, you know what I mean? And strategy and consistency, which I also think I can self-drag. I know sometimes I also fall off, and it's you need to get back up, because part of it is people don't understand being an artist also, and managing your emotions and managing the situation and managing someone on your neck about something that you have lost control over, that's a lot. You know what I mean? But yeah, but you keep at it.
Gyre, I think a very simple thought, and I'd like your opinion on this. Why do we? Your hypothesis on why do we get it so wrong? Why do we get money so wrong as artists and as creatives? Why is it so taboo? Why do you think we get it so wrong?
Why isn't your passion a business?
I think some instances we are indulgent in our passion, and you cannot be indulgent with your gift. You know what I mean? And I think perhaps that leads us not to think about the practicalities of life after that. And I think that's what it is also, because a lot of times, I was thinking Kumnandi SoundCloud guys, okay, what today? Great. But then it's just, you gotta keep at it.
Practicalities, I'm sure you mean bills.
Yes.
Yeah, practicalities. But I'd still, I'd still want maybe more in terms of understanding. Is it because we are not taught enough about these things? But
also, yes,
artists, we have conversations about it amongst ourselves a lot of the time, and creatives get lost in ideas of fun. They're exciting, they dreams, they visions, but again, we know the situation. I know how I'm living as an artist and the challenges that I've had. I'm sure you understand the challenges that I've had.
I think,
why is there just such a parallel? It's almost like this parallel universe between the business and the money.
Yeah.
and you're creating. It's taboo. It's so taboo within the craft of arts. Like artists, it's crazy that like we're doing this show and people are like, oh wow, finance, artists, as if like that shouldn't be
considered.
Yeah, unless you're a commercial rapper artist or, for example, but like
the culture hasn't been bestowed within our culture, within our country, I guess. The culture of entrepreneurs, hey.
this word.
That word challenge you had a second time.
Gyre is 2-0 with entrepreneurship. He's 2-0. This word.
Hey, it struck me today, yeah, no, like it's something that we're all new to it. Everything that we're doing, guys. The thing is, like, if you think about the streams of like black bodies that have come through, like everyone's been thrust in. Like the kids who went to varsity straight after '94, like they went from one thing to another. So we're constantly learning new things, and we're fast developing. Like we actually are. Like I think in some instances, like really moving quickly in terms of like how things are changing and people are engaging, and so the culture hasn't had time to like become proper custom, and so we struggle to have that conversations. Like it's such like an awkward conversation, like to be like, yo dude, okay, a contract, because it's like, oh no, like with artists, your intentions aren't bad, it's just that like you just want to work, you know what I mean? Like it's just you just want to work, you know what I mean? And I get it, like it's just like but then the culture within us, I think, is something that we need to push ourselves harder towards, and that will take us to the money, because then we'll be able to trust one another and circulate that money.
Yeah, I know.
No,
definitely. No, I hear you. Let's talk about your album a bit. How did you pull off making an album? I'll say it from my perspective. I'm not even a rapper yet. I have a few bars. They're pretty decent.
Don't sleep on yourself.
Yeah.
I think you're the most slept on talent in the game.
For sure.
16 bars in 2018
Don Salamanca.
are the hardest.
But mixtape is in itself, it's pretty, I would say, a bit difficult to pull off.
Yep.
If you really, I'm into mixtape industry, but not in South Africa. Internationally, I'm a big mixtape. Shout out to Lloyd Banks, the mixtape messiah. All those hot mixtapes. I'm with you. Cold Corner, all those Halloween, all those things, all those mixtapes, the hot. But a mixtape here will be somewhat difficult to pull off, just because of if you want to drop something with decent quality, there will be costs involved, right? But an album, I mean, there must be hell of costs involved in there, the production, the engineering, and so forth, and other issues that I probably don't have an idea of. Tell me, how did you manage to really gather resources to record your album? Because in all honesty, people who are listening there, they're aspiring to be a rapper and artist like you. They don't have the most connections, the best connections in the industry. They don't know C-Funk. They don't have a home studio or whatever to pull things off. How do you pull off something of this magnitude with minimal resources? Hell, that was a hell of a question.
I don't even think that question needs an answer. Can we be the first show to drop a question that's so hot?
It doesn't
need an answer. No, shout out, Naga. That's the question.
All you can say is yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is the question of the series.
But how do you record an album? What costs are involved?
Don't get it.
He's like,
you did it.
Okay.
Talk.
You forge good relationships. You network. And I watched a thing where Issa Rae says, we always want to network up by reaching when you can just network around you. Like, spread your arms wide. Look for people who are also looking for an opportunity, but are missing what you have, and you are missing what you have. And I think building a solid professional relationship with this person, and you begin your process together if you understand each other. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with me and Gyre, you know. And we did set up a contract, because I always say, Guti, like in this moment, if I can't go up, I'll put in contract, I'll put in form, Guti. We can set up a plan which can work for us all, because everyone must be remunerated for everything that they've done. Once the money comes in at the time, you know what I mean? That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's not shady dealings. It's not whatever. It's
a timing issue.
Yes, it's a timing issue. We need to be cognizant of everything, and especially when everyone knows what skill everyone has. You know what I mean? Because I think we live in a world where we aren't in America. We aren't privy to all these like resources that everybody else is. You know, we aren't privy to like money as well. Also, isn't readily available in South Africa. How many unemployed youth are there? You know what I mean? How many unemployed youth are there? So you gotta find opportunities amongst yourselves, and then from then on, build together. You forge relationships. You keep your circle. When they say you keep your circle tight, you keep your circle tight, because these are people you trust with your vision and with your purpose. You know what I mean? And so so no, we set up our own different plan with Gyre particularly, and it was Black Rebel Media Studios actually.
Can I just jump in one last question? Just quickly go through the process of recording an album. How does one record an album? Do you just go in the studio and start spitting? Just, how do you record an album?
Like, I mean, Queernomics was like different ways. Like, I mean, I can't remember how songs were pieced in terms of when they were done. Because some tracks, like I said, like were there, then they were chilling. Then, because like I'll just be like, and because Malanga, the bridge, like I made 2 nyonsonso ones that I just hated, and I was just like, no wait. And my friends like who I had close, I had a group. The ones I spoke about who did the homework on the first show. Multiply Me was the name of the group, and it was my closest friends who just would help me with my promo, and I'd send my music and they'd be like, Shinjalento baby, mini 3.2 no. You know, and that really helped, you know what I mean? So it's to cut a long story short, you just gotta keep at it. You gotta keep at it, fam. Sometimes you just get heartbeats. Like with Eat My Ass, you get, like, I woke up with that chant in my head. I was like, eat my ass. You know, I knew, wait, okay. Out of nowhere. They just come out of nowhere, these things. People will see me walking in the streets of Bram, talking to myself. Say, man, I'm a rapper. I'm rapping. When I'm gone, sweetie, I'm gone. I'm not gonna stop. Because you think I'm clearly something, I'm onto something. And I'm not gonna stop the moment I can see you. Like, I feel like I go to this place where like I step out and then the world is like clear. I can see the world, but I'm zoned in here, and no one needs to just enter that space. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, but it's a long process, because there's things you like, things you don't like, tracks that like in Malanga, I think in Malanga, in Kanye, for instance, like that track, like that Nino made that beat, J-Word, and he was like, nah, it's trash. I don't think it's gonna work on anything. I'm like, nah, nigga, this is a Kwaito track. Let's do this. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was an interesting experience. Like, I missed it, and that's why I'm enjoying being in the process that I am now. Like, I'm in the process of making new music again.
Okay.
Working on a new
some hot stuff coming from.
There's stuff coming. There's stuff coming.
One thing I can guarantee the people out there is the flows. Gyre got mad flows, many flows. You can flip it, turn it, all sorts of flows, man. Slow flow, fast flow, Eminem level flow. He got that.
You got insane flows, man. Yo, Gyre, you got insane flows, and you know you're one of the guys who I think you can on your good day you could match a Teethswag bow too.
Oh, shit! I'm so honored.
I think you know that comes from a humble place for me. But like, I really, you know, as we kind of wrapping this up, the thing that I'd also like you to maybe share, but you know, when you came here for part 1, you came with your mother. When part 1 got cut short, your manager actually cut our interview short, you know, and because, you know, there were timing issues, which I blame totally on Ndarkie, but and setting up, I think this was so beautiful
to just for you to come with your mother to our interview. Where does realistically, what's the support structure? In terms of that you have, and how important is it in building what you're trying to build? Getting the backing from your family, your friends, your manager, who you've clearly got a very beautiful relationship with. Could you maybe touch on that? Is the support where you want it to be, and how important is that for you as somebody working the way
I'm grateful for all the people who are in my life. I love them dearly, and I could never imagine a life without them. The idea of losing anyone is just completely no, never that. And I'm grateful because I believe the support structure is at its best it's ever been, and it's so nice and beautiful.
You're in a good space.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's very nice when you have the support structure you need, especially when you're taking the unconventional route.
True.
Let me ask you, it's finance for hippies, so you need to stay on the bag.
Yeah, sure.
How am I looking? How's the bag out there as a young up and coming rapper? I know you got your stuff on Google Play, iTunes, YouTube. You're out there, man. You're out there, Insta. You're kidding them. How's the bag?
The bag is.
Where should I gun for the bag? When I'm coming in, am I going to be looking at the streams, the likes on YouTube? YouTube pays per click, whatever.
Only at a certain threshold. They've got
certain
rules. They've got certain rules. So, what your question is? If you are coming out, where's
the money coming from?
Where's the money coming from?
Yeah.
Where's the coming from? I think the most, the one that I think statistically like in terms of what it's doing, in context of the whole situation and in every aspect of it all, I think is the streaming, but definitely the streaming. Performances not so, because people aren't we're not being approached only now. MX Blouse is so great. I'm so happy that they're thinking that he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves as well. But then I just feel the industry for really is so closed off. You know what I mean? And I feel a lot of the times artists are being forced into doing, not forced, but being put in as if there's no other choice but to do pro bono work when you can pay, when people can pay. You know what I mean? So I think it's something that we need to speak about in the industry, actually. You know what I mean? About the fact that a lot of shit that people want these kids like myself to do, because we're not gonna pretend that I'm fucking like an Ettore. I'm Gyre and I'm doing great, but we know I can do greater. You know what I mean? I think every Gyre fan knows that we can do better. We can always do better. And I feel in order for everything to grow, the culture, that culture, and also underpaying, it needs to change. It needs to change. So I'm not going to say the bag looks like whatever, trying to flaunt. No, there is no bag. You make the bag, which goes to why I'm an events organizer.
Yeah.
I make my own events. Yeah, that's come to think of it, actually, that's my greatest, my events that I do myself. You know what I mean? That's my great thing. Get my income, my source of greatest income at this point, actually, more than anything. Because it's ownership.
Yeah.
It's ownership. And what I was trying to say about the clubs earlier is that the clubs just don't ever want to remunerate. And it's why don't clubs want to remunerate? I'm rendering a service to you.
Clubs are run by guys like Ndarkie. Guys
No, it must be spoken about, guys. It must be spoken about.
Cut cars. So, Gyre, I think, we've touched on some beautiful topics. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would I would like to basically find out in terms of, you know, where you're going, where you are now. What's the big Gyre vision in terms of artistically, and I can even say if you're willing to go. Actually, no, this is finance for hippies. In terms of your evaluation as an artist, do you want to be a profitable artist? Where do you see yourself in terms of those kind of numbers? And what's how does Gyre look in 5 years?
It's like that
10 years?
Jay-Z track. What did he say? It's either you want to dumb down or double your dollars. So it's either the art or the money. Where do you see? What's the split for you?
I think in a few years, I want to be definitely a profitable business. A profit angazi overflow angazi amanye terms akhona, but I need it to be like excessive, like so much
You
money.
want the
it's
money
so
to
annoying.
overflow?
Yeah,
Is that what you just said?
no, like I plan
Gyre, the oligarch album coming soon.
on, no, you know, like I want to look like a forest of like, just like that money must come in. That money must stream so that money can go
Gyre
into
the
other
rapper.
things. You know, I've gone to other things. I've got greater things than to do than just the rap. You know, I have many aspirations. Like I always say, my dream is before I die pursuing a football managing degree. I'm not saying degree manager. What you call this management career. Like I'd love to be a football manager, you know. And if it ends up being in APC Mutsepe and I get fired after 7 games, fuck that shit.
That's
yes.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Finance for hippies. That I feel like our job is done. Everything we've
That's
been
my
through was
dream,
worth
sir.
it. For that
when I fantasize,
moment.
when I fantasize, I always fantasize buying out Amazulu because my dad's Amazulu.
Oh my gosh! This guys, we are now at the tail end of the show. For me, it's a mind blowing. Gyre, I honestly, I think now Ndarkie's gonna do the thing he does best in closing up the show. You just like arrested. Everyone is like, Gyre, Mourinho, like C-Funk at the back is like,
Amazulu Mourinho.
he's like, that is the most beautiful thing. But I think Gyre, I think it's beautiful, man. I think we can, you know, have some closing thoughts. I think it's beautiful from a guy who rapped about Jesus in his stomach to now we. That's the past of Gyre.
That's my sister.
Apparently, Gyre's got a song about Jesus in his stomach. But yeah, some closing thoughts. What you took from this show, Ndarkie, Gyre, and then we can get the show done.
Any advice for up and coming rappers out there, Gyre?
A few things. One, a service to self is a service to others. You can always do it. If you fear it, do it. And everyone has a story. You just be good. Everyone has a story. That's great, and we love to hear a story. But damn it, be the best at your craft. Be the best no matter what you do.
And with that,
And the bag.
Yeah, get the bag.
the
Get
bag will always follow.
The bag will follow.
bag will
Work in investments, but the bag will follow.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'd like to close off this episode, another brilliant episode, Finance for Hippies, hosted by yours, Ndarkie, and my homie,
Teethswag.
for sure.
Yes.